Okay, so this is the second part of your slope notes. Sorry, but I don't know what happened to the first video. It just ended. So for your second part, it says slope tells us the rate at which the variables are changing in relation to one another. We calculate the slope by dividing the change in y by the change in x. Change in y divided by the change in x. So we're going to see that three different ways. The first way we're going to see it is using a graph. So when you're given a graph, you're going to mark 2 points on the line, and they have to be nice points. What that means is right in all of these crossings, it has to go through where these lines cross each other, which is why they chose this point right here and this point right here, because they go through the crossings. They could have also chosen that point right there because, again, it goes through both of the lines. Has to be on like an intersection. So it says mark 2 points on the line. Done. Find the rise, which is the vertical change, and the run, which is the horizontal change between the points. Divide and simplify. So the formula we're going to use for a graph is going to be rise over run. Rise divided by run. So we're going to use the 2 points they gave us, not the one I made, and we're going to make a triangle. I have to go down, and then I have to go to the right to get to the next point. So I have to go down how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had to run 1, 2, 3, 4. But think about this. Is this slope right here we're working on, is this a positive or a negative slope? Well, we had to go down, right? So the rise isn't just a 6, it's actually a negative 6 because we went down and then to the right. To the right is positive, but down is negative. So we had 6 over 4. And again, we said we went down, so it was a negative 6 over 4. But you have to simplify. And that does simplify, and that will simplify to negative 3 over 2. If you're not sure, stick it in your calculator. And then check. If you were a person walking on this line, you always have to walk to the right when you're reading graphs, so this person would tumble down the hill. So it's negative. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do this example on the right. It's going to be a you try problem. So I want you guys to try it. Okay, so the first thing you should have drawn is a triangle. So you can draw it on either side. Let's just go this way. We'll just go to the right and then up. So let's see, where do they intersect? Right there. But you could have also gone the other way. So let's do this way first. So I have to go to the right 2 and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my run was 2 and my rise was 8. So you always do rise over run. So you're going to do 8 over 2, which is going to make a 4. If you didn't do the same triangle I did, then you would have gone up and then to the right, which is completely fine. You still go up 8 and you still go to the right 2. So you'll still get the same answer in the end. Okay, well, what if they give you a table? So calculate how the y values change and how the x values change. Then divide the change in y by the change in x. So in a way we like to write that in math is this triangle. It's called a delta. So delta y, delta x. That means the change in y divided by the change in x. That's just what this little triangle means, is change. So let's try this first example. We need to figure out, going from this first to the second, so 1 to 3, I'm going to add 2. Okay, well if I add 2 to 3, do I get 5? Yep. 5 to 7 is another add 2. And you want to make sure these are all the same. So for all the graphs we're working with, they're called linear graphs, they're lines, and they're going to be the same numbers on both sides. So all of these were 2s, so let's see what the y values are. Okay, so to go from 20 to 30, I have to add 10. 30 to 40, you're still adding 10. 40 to 50, you add 10. So all of these numbers are the same. So the slope is the change in y, remember it's delta y over delta x. So your change in y was 10, your change in x is 2, so your final answer is actually A, 5. Okay, go ahead and pause this video and you guys try the second one. You try that one. Okay, you should have paused the video. And we have to figure out what's happening on both sides. -5 to 0 is a +5, but if you're not sure about here, then skip down to the next one. 0 to 5. How do I go from 0 to 5? Well, you add 5. Okay, 5 to 10. You add 5. Well, does that work? -5 to 0. If I do -5 plus 5, I do get 0. So the right side should have been a -2 each time. And then remember, you always do the change in y over the change in x. So the change in y was -2 divided by the change in x is 5. So, and you always want to make sure that it's simplified all the way. So type it into your calculator if you're not sure, but -2 over 5 is your final answer. If you typed it into your calculator, you probably got 2 over 5, and the negative was just out front. That's fine. These two things mean the same thing. Personally, I like it when it's on top. Okay, this last part. It says, make a table and use the method above. Or you can calculate the difference in the y values and the difference in the x values. So what that means is the formula for method B is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's just do the table first. So this table is saying that these are our 2 points. So this point is going to go in the top row, and this point is going to go in the bottom row. Remember, they always have to match. So we have -7, 4. That's all 1 point, so they have to be side by side. -9, 5. And then we're doing it like we did above. How do I go from -7 to -9? Well, you subtract 2. How do I go from 4 to 5? Well, you add 1. So your slope is 1 over -2. but I don't like the negative in the bottom. It has to either be out front or in the top. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 1 over 2. Put the negative in the top with the 1. Okay, the second way they do it is just using the points, we're labeling it. So this is point number 1, and that's point number 2. Because of that, that's why there's these little ones next to the y and the x, and then it says x2, x1. It's just saying this is the second point they've given you. So the formula states we're going to take y2 and subtract y1, and then we're also going to take x2 and subtract x1. So I'm going to go ahead and put my minus signs on there so I don't forget them. So y2 is 5, y1 is 4. These were the yellow numbers. Okay, then the purple numbers are a negative 9 and a negative 7. Negative 9 and negative 7. And it's a little hard to see. So 5 minus 4 is 1. Negative 9 minus a negative 7. So this is what it looks like right now. Negative 9 minus a negative 7. Two negatives make a positive. So negative 9 plus 7 is a negative 2. So we don't like it looking like that. So you can rewrite it the same as negative 1 over 2. Okay, pause the video and see if you can do the second one. So you should have gotten a 3 for both of them. When you're doing the table, 5 to negative 7 is kind of confusing to me. So what I did was I went 5 to 0. So I knew that was a subtract 5. Just go 5 to 0, like thinking about the number line. And then I went 0 to negative 7. So negative 5 and then another negative 7 together made the negative 12.